This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept charges, press 1. To refuse charges, press 2. If you would like to permanently block your number from receiving calls from this facility, press 6. For balance, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Yeah, Mike, I got a hold of, and he is supposedly going to rat you. He asked for your address, so that's a new development. Looks like that's good. I hope he does rat you.
Is he okay?
He didn't. We didn't really go into detail on his condition. I just sent him information that you need to contact him, and he asked for your address, and I gave it to him, and that was about the extent of the conversation.
All right. Well, that's good. At least he's not in jail. If there's any way that anyone can send me a link, habeas corpus, it's just a standard petition for habeas corpus. It's under Title 28. I don't know the exact number, but the forms that I had access to is still in Bradley's possession, so I don't have those, and I can't. While I'm here in Tennessee, I've got the ability to submit a habeas corpus to a federal judge here in Tennessee. So there's a possibility I might get someone here that actually knows me or knows about me that might have some interest in, recognizing that petition and free me. So, if
very good.
Anybody's able to do it. Anything else?
The only other thing I can think of is, several people were gonna write your parole board hearing in favor of you, and I wrote a letter, and you're going to get a copy of that. But also, I got wind that the bad guys are going to write a letter, and that means they're going to have to identify themselves. So if you can get a copy of everything that was submitted before the judge for your parole board, I would love to get the identification finally identified of these devils. But I don't want to spend too much time talking about them. They're not worth our energy and time,
No, and here's the thing. Anybody, this is a letter to the parole board. This is a situation where if you give false information, they can actually come after you and charge you with a crime. So if these devils, as you put them, these Satan's minions, if they send false information to them, deceptive information, and guess what? I get a copy of everything that goes to the parole board. So let them know that.
Praise God.
And so they're going to be exposed, and if they give false information, the government, their Lord and Master, will come after them and spank them. Also, any of my fellow followers of Christ, those that stand in the light and truth, realize if you're listening to Traitor, if you're listening to any of his ilk, you're listening to Satan's minions who are masters at half-truth, deception, and lies. If they were able to talk Adam and Eve out of their Garden of Eden for a friggin' apple, guess what? They can talk you out of your salvation, let alone talk you out of supporting fellow followers of Christ that are being persecuted. So realize, I know that there were people that were writing me that all of a sudden stopped writing me. They never said why. I don't know if they've just gotten busy or their views have changed. The reality is that I know of people that have been falsely prosecuted, convicted, and then their cases eventually overturned years later. Had they had the help of supporters contacting congressmen and raising canes and saying, hey, you got innocent people sitting there dying in jails and prison, what are you doing about it? If you lit a fire up underneath their rear ends and got them to go to work, I mean, this is how the people in Arkansas got their land back. Back in the 80s when Reagan passed that asset forfeiture law, all of a sudden the sheriffs were going around planting pot on large farmers' lands in Arkansas, and they were going in and finding the pot that they planted, raiding and seizing the farm, and then kicking the farmers off their land and seizing it through asset forfeiture laws. Then the congressman got all these calls from these farmers saying, hey, you going to help us or we're going to have to go to war and start killing people? Well, the congressman got with people in the Air Force and other National Guard operations, and they went in and they did surveillance. They did searches. They flew Civil Air Patrol over these areas of Arkansas looking for pot grows on these lands that the sheriffs had confiscated. And voila, people like me who are, watchdogs against corrupt government spotted 4 different sheriffs who were later prosecuted, and the farms were seized and taken back. And ultimately, they went back to the original farmer, which is what they should have been. So, I'm as white-hat as it gets in this matter, but the fact is that for me, exposing corruption in government, people like your minions out there, they come after you because they worship corrupt government. It's not.
Yeah.
This is not an anti-government issue. It's an anti-corrupt government because they obviously, at the foundation of the republic, is we the people. The power comes from the people. The government only exists because we allow it to. And unfortunately, it's been hijacked. We've got a bunch of professional liars that have constructed some type of a system by which they've converted us, the sovereigns, into the slaves. And we've got to take back the land and take back control of this corrupt system. And this corporation posing as government, it's got to go.
Yeah.
The Constitution does not allow for read the Federalist Papers. You cannot have a corporation. Read your Federalist Papers. They forbid corporations to be part of government because corporations are fictions on paper that people hide behind, and they only use them to profit. It has nothing to do with serving the needs of we the people. And so you got professional liars that will lie and lie and lie, and that's how people like Trader exist, because there's a way for that minion to make a living because there's a corporation who needs people like him to do the dirty work. And so once we eliminate the corporations posing as government, people like him either have to get a legitimate job and shut the trap and quit lying, or they get to go to jail for bearing false witness. And that's this future, I think, holds at some point.
Yeah. Well, we live in a litigious society where the lawyers and the judges are making a killing off all of this lawyer activity, legal activity, and the problem is that...
That's another...
Yeah, and
the original 13th Amendment prohibited titles of nobility, so you couldn't have a lawyer in a government office. No attorneys could be elected officials because they're professional liars, and their oath is to the Queen of England, to another entity, not we the people. So you got to get rid of them.
Yeah, and we also live like anybody just makes an accusation of I'm a victim, he's abusing me, or he said something that offended me, and the lawyers and the judges jump all over that as an opportunity to make a legal issue out of it, make more money. But Mike, I love you, brother. We're going on $7 here. Looks and maybe we can limit this thing to once maybe a call on Friday unless there's an emergency, because if you end up staying there till August, which God forbid, I pray that doesn't happen, we're gonna have to have some sort of plan on how to deal with the the expenditures of the phone. But God bless you, Mike, and I do pray the Lord gets you out of there. Yeah.
Until then, I'll hop off for now. God bless. If anybody can send the habeas corpus form, and I will send you a list of all the stuff that I gave a copy of to the hearing officer. I will try to get that into the mail today.
Do you want that on your webpage?
What's that?
What you're going to send me?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Yeah, because this is the thing. This is what I gave the hearing officer, and the thing is, she may not give it to the board. She may eliminate. And the thing is that I'm going to send you a copy of the rules too. She was supposed to have let us go into the details of why I've been falsely charged in the false parole violation. She said, when my mom tried to talk about it and when I tried to talk about it, she said, well, that's not an issue. That's in the past. But then that's exactly the basis that she used to deny me parole.
Yeah. I got no faith in these judges at all.
If somebody can call the parole board and try to find out who was this hearing officer, because I'd like to know who she is, because she would not give her name.
Yeah, that's not right.
No, and it's supposed to be a public open event, and when people try to show up and they're told by the Tipton County Jail that they can't, they need to be calling the news media, they need to be calling their elected officials, they need to be calling the parole board and saying, who's in charge here? Why are you letting this backwards mafia corrupt Tipton County Corporation Court and jail deny us the right to be there to stand up and support one of our fellow men whose lives being destroyed? This is not acceptable, and we can do better.
Yeah.
Hold them accountable.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
all right.
I'll let you go.
Okay. God bless you, Mike. Take care.
The caller has hung up.